Hi, welcome to my channel. We are going to be going through Psalm 49 today, which is another psalm that's kind of taking a break from the laments of book 2 in the Psalms. So let's jump right into it. And let's first of all look at a verse in Psalm 119. And then we will jump into Psalm 49. So Psalm 119, we're going to look at verse 140. Your promises have been thoroughly tested, and your servant loves them. Lord, your word has been thoroughly tested year after year after year after year, and it is proven to be faithful and true. And so, God, we love your word. And as we read today, I pray that you will give us understanding, that we will just enjoy this psalm today. I pray that we will come away just closer to you. Amen. Psalm 49 is kind of a fun psalm because it's written a little bit different than previous psalms that we've looked at. So I really kind of enjoy this psalm. So let's read through it first, and then I'm going to help you by breaking it down and showing you the interesting parts of this psalm. So it says this: Hear this, all you peoples. Listen, all you who live in this world, both low and high, rich and poor alike. My mouth will speak words of wisdom. The meditation of my heart will give you understanding. I will turn my ear to a proverb. With the harp, I will resound my riddle. So he's going to give you a riddle. Why should I fear when evil days come, when the wicked deceivers surround me, those who trust in their wealth and boast in their great riches? No one can redeem the life of another or give to God a ransom for them. The ransom for a life is costly. No payment is ever enough, so that they should live on forever and not see decay. For all can see that the wise die, and that the foolish and the senseless also perish, leaving their wealth to others. Their tombs will remain their houses forever, their dwellings for endless generations, though they had named lands after them. People, despite their wealth, do not endure. They are like beasts that perish. Sounds kind of depressing, but you're going to understand why he's saying all these things. This is the fate of those who trust in themselves, and of the followers who approve their sayings. They are like sheep and are destined to die. Death will be their shepherd, but the upright will prevail over them in the morning. Their forms will decay in the grave, far from their princely mansions, but God will redeem me from the realm of the dead. He will surely take me to himself. Do not be overawed when others grow rich, when the splendor of their houses increase, for they will take nothing with them when they die. Their splendor will not descend with them. Though while they live, they count themselves blessed, and people praise you when you prosper. They will join those who have gone before them, who will never again see the light of life. People who have wealth but lack understanding are like the beasts that perish. So interesting psalm. So he's going to go through and he's going to talk about this riddle, and then he's going to basically answer the riddle. So first of all, what we want to do is put a category on this. And like we said, this is not a lament. This is part of that section of 6 psalms that's kind of taking a break from the laments. So this psalm is basically called a wisdom psalm. Now, we've talked about wisdom psalms before. That means that there is an understanding or a teaching or some sort of instruction. So I'm just going to write the word instruction down below here, that they're trying to teach you. And you're going to see that very clearly in this psalm as we walk through it. So basically, there's an issue that the psalmist is trying to deal with. And basically, the psalm, the issue is that we're dealing with death in the context of human wealth. And you saw that a lot, like you can't take anything with you, that you're going down to the light and who knows where your wealth is going to go, or to the dark and who knows where your wealth is going to go. And you saw some of those concepts as we're reading it. But the way he presents it, I think, is just kind of just a really neat way, the way he's presenting it. So basically what he's doing is he's starting at the beginning with calling all the people to listen. Okay, so he's saying, listen. I have something I want to share with you, and I want to make sure that you're listening. And he's saying, all people, both low and high, rich and poor alike, I have something that I want to speak to you. And then he says this. He uses 3 different words. He says, I'm going to speak words of wisdom. I'm going to give you understanding because I'm going to turn to a proverb. I will turn my ear to a proverb. With my harp, I will expound my riddle. So we've got 3 things here. He's going to speak with wisdom and understanding. He's going to ponder a proverb. I will turn my ear to a proverb, and he's going to use a riddle. So what I did was I looked those 3 words up just so that I knew what they meant in general. So I went to the dictionary to look up some of it, and I have this actually printed on a little piece of paper for you, and so that you've got this, so that we kind of understand what he's talking about. So wisdom and understanding has to do with right conduct and proper discernment in living life. So he's going to speak and help you understand something that would be right conduct, and how to discern how to live this life. A proverb, in its basic form, contrasts and compares 2 seemingly unrelated phenomena to show their relationship with each other. And we're going to see that when he talks about the righteous versus the unrighteous and their end. And then a riddle is, I went and looked that up on Bible Hub, and it is Strong's number 2420, the word chida, and it's basically a perplexing saying or question. So what we're going to do is, first of all, glue this in, but then we're going to look and find what is the question, what is the riddle, what is the perplexing thing that he is dealing with, and we're going to highlight that so that we know where the rest of this psalm is really going to take us. But I wanted to have those definitions in there so that I would understand what he's talking about. So here's the question. The question is right here in verse 5. Why should I fear when evil days come, when wicked deceivers surround me? So basically he's asking, should I fear the words and the deeds of this oppressive, wealthy people? And they're confronting me, they're surrounding me every day. Okay, so we're going to put like a big highlight around this. This is the question. And I'm just going to write inside of here, this is the question. This is what he's pondering. And I think what I'm going to do too is just turn back around and write the question in there, in my own words right here. And so I'm going to just put it right here. So the question is, should I fear? Okay, should I fear the words and the deeds So should I fear the words and the deeds of the oppressive wealthy? And you're going to see how oppressive they are and talk about their wealth a little bit as we read through this. So, should I fear the words and the deeds of the oppressive wealthy, which confronts me? Each day. So there's basically a rewording of the question. That is what he's going to be dealing with in this whole psalm. So then what he does is he goes through and he's going to respond to the riddle or respond to the question and give you understanding, because that's basically what this psalm was all about. Is let's go through and I'm going to give you some understanding by answering your questions. Now we're gonna basically the whole rest of the psalm from verses 17 to 20 is his response to the riddle. So we're going to just kind of walk through this and see what are some of the things he's saying, so that in the end we can look and say, here's the answer to the riddle. Okay? So, should I fear the words and the deeds of the oppressive wealthy, which confronts me every day? So his response: no one can redeem the life of another or give to God a ransom for them. The ransom for a life is costly. No payment should ever be enough for so that they should live on forever and not see decay. So basically, what is he saying there? He's saying that their wealth can't redeem them. Only God can do that. And then he's saying they're not going to live forever. There's nothing they can do to pay for their life, basically. So they're not going to live forever. So not even the wealth have enough ransom from the inevitability of death. Everybody is going to die. And then he says all of that. For all I see the wise, for all can see that the wise do die, that the foolish and the senseless perish. See, everybody's going to die, so they cannot, it doesn't matter how much money you have, right? And you're going to leave your wealth to others. Their tombs are going to remain, their houses forever, their dwellings. It's all talking about death. They're going to die, and that's just the way it is, right? Their dwellings will be their tombs forever. So then he kind of says this: people despite their wealth do not endure. There really is, I would say that this right here, I would look at this as kind of the summary of what he's trying to get across right now. People despite their wealth do not die. They're like beasts that perish. This is the fate of those who trust in themselves and of those following who approve their sayings. They are all like sheep destined to die. Okay? So to me, that's kind of like, I'm summarizing it right there. Everyone is destined to die. So if you wanted to, you could just go like this and say, this is a summary of the facts that he's trying to get across right now. And the facts are, everyone dies. No matter, your wealth doesn't matter. So I'm going to say, no matter how wealthy. And that was verses 12 through 14, where he really just kind of summarizes all those thoughts there. Okay, and then he goes back again to responding to that and telling you a little bit about their wealth again, right? He's saying they're like sheep, they're destined to die, death will be like their shepherd, their forms will decay in the grave, far from their princely mansions. See, it doesn't matter how rich you are, you're going to die, you're going to be in the grave. But God will redeem me from the realm of the dead. He will surely take me to himself. Okay, this to me is kind of like a crucial sentence in his response, right? He's showing the difference between a follower of God and the rich, oppressive, wealthy that are not followers of God. So I'm going to just do this. This is the difference in a God follower. God will redeem me from the realm of the dead. He will surely take me to himself. And then he goes back and says, because of that, don't be overawed when others grow rich, when you see their splendor, right? Again, here, they'll take nothing with them when they die. So he's really going through this idea that their wealth does not matter. Their splendor will not go with them, will not descend with them into the grave. Though while they live, they count themselves blessed. People praise them, okay, prosper, but that's it. They won't have it. People who have wealth but lack understanding are like beasts that perish. So his whole response to this is, it does not matter how rich they are. In the end, they're going to die. So now let's go back to his question. Should I fear when the evil day comes, when wicked deceivers surround me and those who trusted in their wealth boast of their great riches? And he goes through and proves to you, no, you do not need to fear. As a matter of fact, don't even be overawed when they grow rich, because they can't take it with them. This is what we look forward to, okay? So he's answering it by saying, no, that we should not be overawed in all of that. And that reminded me of a verse in Ecclesiastes, because Ecclesiastes kind of reminds me of this psalm where he's going through all the things that we have in life and the riches and understanding and all of that, and how in the end it's all useless. Or in Ecclesiastes, he says it's all vanity. And the whole book of Ecclesiastes is wrapped up in Ecclesiastes 12:13, which says, and I have this on a little thing here so that you can glue this in here too. It says, now all has been heard, and here is the conclusion of the matter. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the duty of all mankind. So I look at all of this psalm and the question and the riddle, as he called it, or the proverb that he's pondering. And in the end, he's basically saying, there is no need to fear the rich or be upset that they're prospering, because in the end, their riches cannot go with them, and that will not matter. But for us, God will redeem us from the realm of the dead, and he will surely take me to himself. What a joy, and what a great answer to this profound riddle. So Lord, I pray that our minds and our hearts will be focused on you, that when we see the wicked prosper, or we see the wealth of the riches that the wicked amass, Lord, that we would just keep our eyes on you, that we would remember that we are redeemed, and that surely you will take us to yourself, and that the riches and the things that we often look to really don't matter. I thank you for working that into our hearts and our spirits today. Amen. Well, thank you for joining me for this interesting psalm and the riddle that we all at some point in life need to wrestle with. Thanks for joining me.